What happened was I was working at the Bismarck Hotel in Chicago, hanging hats and coats, and I wrote a song called My Silent Self, words and music, and I showed it to our orchestra leader at the hotel, Phil Levant. Those were the days of big orchestras before television, and they would play coast to coast. Phil said he would look at it, and he came back to me and said, I like it. I'd like to make an orchestration and play it. And I was thrilled. So from that time, every night, I would be hanging hats and coats and hear my song being played from around the corner in the big ballroom. And I quite naturally decided that I was Irving Berlin. So I wrote 12 more songs, told my parents I'd like to go to New York and be a songwriter. So they gave me permission. I took a Greyhound bus. I checked in at the YMCA in New York and they helped me get a job as an usher at the RKO Jefferson Theater, which was on 14th Street. I went uptown to the Brill Building, which is about 45 blocks away, every day after work. And sometimes I would have a dime, and I could afford I would have a hot dog and a drink, and I would be able I'd walk uptown. Other times, I would just have a hot dog, and instead of the drink for a nickel, I would take that nickel and use the subway and ride up. I would alternate.
And were you successful in selling those songs?
No, there was always one question. What have you had published? And that's called Catch-22. I said nothing, and they said, come back when you've had something published.
Even in those days, right?
Even in those days. Mm-hmm. And finally, just as I think I was getting started, because a man named Max Rich took a liking to me, and we started writing songs. Now, Max Rich had two big hits. One was Smile Down Your Smile, and the other was The Girl in the Little Green Hat, based on an Harold Arlen, an Arlen novel, not Harold Arlen, but an Arlen novel. And it was at that time that I was seeing all these movies every day at the theater where I worked. And I saw all that glamour with Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby and Judy Garland and all these lavish backgrounds and beautiful apartments and homes. And I decided that that's where I wanted to be, not in New York. So I quit and went back to Chicago and asked for permission to go to Hollywood. And my mother gave me 6 weeks to find a job or come back home to Chicago.